Hey, a writer from Illinois has a few choice words for New Yorkers who curse loudly on the subway. He says that's a bunch of balderdash.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
Jim O'Connor is an expletives expert who's written a self-help book about how to drop the F word and S word in favor of more ear-pleasing options.
What?
Yes, instead of the S word, he suggests using shoot.
How old is that? That's kind of where shoot came from.
Instead of the S word, he suggests using shoot. Ugh. And he wants New Yorkers to try bungled next time you want to say effed up. So instead of saying I effed up, he wants you to say I bungled.
I bungled? What?
The only thing that should be bungled is the investigation into his murder on the train. When he tells someone, what in tarnation are you doing?
Tarnation.
And bashes brains in with a wrench. I hate him.
The mild-mannered author of Curse Control.
No, it's called Cuss Control.
Cuss Control.
Cuss Control.
Sorry.
USS Cuss.
You're right. Faced his toughest audience yet in a rush hour train ride with the Daily News and harried New Yorkers jostling to get home.
Jostling.
Do you swear, O'Connor asked one commuter as he squeezed into a car on the L train at 8th Avenue. Yeah, he replied, warily. And I was surprised people are not swearing at you now. You're blocking the door. Swearing just comes out. It's an emotional outburst that you can't control, he said. But the F word and the S word are vague. They don't communicate much, and they don't communicate much? They communicate a hell of a lot, those two words.
They sure do. You ever drop a C-bomb? It says a mouthful.
Argument over. But the F word and S word are vague. They don't communicate much, and there are all these beautiful words, both positive and negative, that people just don't use. In Cuss Control, O'Connor writes that cultural influences and laziness generally cause excessive swearing, but in big cities like New York, swear words are also used to relieve the pressure of daily life. You have to try to think this guy did not bang into you intentionally. You just happened to be in the way, he said. Don't take it personally, but there's no quick cure. You can't just become a tolerant person. This guy, what? We got to get this guy on the phone.
This guy sounds like a real card-sucking fudget.
O'Connor, who admitted he still swears a little, said it's still okay to curse when it will have an impact. I've tried to stop completely, and I can't, so I don't expect anybody else to, he said. But there are loads of alternatives that can take the bite away, and you can actually amuse people rather than make them uncomfortable. Everyone uses a-hole, but I like the word gargoyle instead. That's a funny word, he says.
Is it?
Wow.
Here are some of Jim Connor's curse word replacements.
So what should happen to this guy is a gang should attack him, and someone should put their clutch in his gargoyle.
The S word, he suggests, yes, shoot. F word, bungled, as in it's all bungled up. The BS word should be balderdash or Bolshevik? Yes. Bolshevik, as in that's a bunch of Bolshevik. Exactly.
Look at his picture right there.
And
What
the A word
nerd.
should be gargoyle. It's Bill O'Reilly.
He's a creep.
Bill O'Reilly's twin.
Everyone's looking at him like, you nerd.
Oh.
Well, Mongo the trucker has a question. Mongo.
Does that mean that Anthony bungled Jill in a shooter?
All right.
Hey! I hope he gets attacked on the train by a gang of nibblers.
We're trying to get this guy on the phone. We're trying to...
this guy's a tool. By the way, Than brought something.
Yeah?
There's none of this is highlighted. It was called 10 Tips for Taming Your Tongue. All starts with the T, folks.
And what's this about, Jimmy?
I don't know. I just picked it up in this a whole page of Boulder Dash. What is it, Than?
That's off cusscontrol.com, this gentleman's website.
Oh, thank God, so that we can learn more about this.
Yeah.
Now you're making a real gargoyle out of me.
Gargoyle. You would be laughed at and then kicked in the gut.
Of course you would, especially if your gargoyle had white stuff leaking out of it.
That's what we do in your words, stupid.
You pillow biter.
Right.
You gotta lay on your stomach because your gargoyle's sore.
A little too much cork, you size queen.
Gargoyle. Way to know New Yorkers. What an idiot.
Yeah, that's going to take off.
Ridiculous.
Someone wants to change gargoyle to mud valve.
What?
He's saying best word ever, mud valve.
Well, potato flakes in the mud valve.
Best replacement word ever is mud valve.
Got a bunch of mushroom soup in your gargoyle. I like gargoyle because it's terrible. Mushroom soup.
Oh, that's terrible. I do like mud valve. Horrid.
And let's not forget we introduced the word clump today too.
Yeah.
One of our fine listeners came up with clump today. We're going back to replacement words, and I remember Schubert used to do this one too. The stink wrinkle.
I was making mud pies out of his stink wrinkle.
We have to take a break because we have our exclusive interview with Jim O'Connor next from Cuss Control.
Good. I want to talk to Jim because I kind of like what he's doing. I mean, I think the idea of it is good. There's a little too much of it on the subway and just in daily life. If the guy's going to cut down on profanity, I am all for that.
All right.
Sure.
I'm thinking we go old school with this one. What do you think, Jimmy?
I think so, too. I mean,
all right.
I think that, we should...
Get the phone ready there, Travis. We got Jim O'Connor next. Opie and Anthony. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Thanks for checking us out today. We greatly appreciate it. Want to say hi to Mark in Canada real fast here. Mark, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Mark.
Just trying to say you guys were killing me today. You're awesome. Love the show. Cuss words switching around, that was just hilarious.
Well, we're going to have the author on in a second here. His name's Jim O'Connor, and we want to take this very seriously, Mark, because I, along with the rest of the guys around here, we do believe that there's too much cursing going on in society today, and there's another way to handle that by using some of these replacement words. Jim O'Connor taught us that instead of saying the S word, you say shoot. Instead of saying effed up, you say bungled, right?
Yeah, very clever.
Was it bungled? I forgot already. Bungled.
Yes.
And balderdash instead of the BS, and gargoyle instead of a-hole.
I want to ask him why. Like, what's the purpose of this?
Yeah, this is a very, very important
to be more
topic.
Polite kind of a thing.
Well, let's say hi to Jim O'Connor joining our show today. Jim?
Yeah.
Mr. O'Connor, if you will, how are you?
I'm just fine. How you doing?
Welcome aboard, Jim.
Thanks for calling our show. So your book got our attention today.
Yeah, well, it amuses people, for one thing.
You actually came down to New York and you were in the subways kind of like giving people a lesson on cursing?
Well, I was just down there trying to get an example of what causes all the cursing. It's pretty hectic down there.
Pretty hectic indeed, my friend.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And so what actually is the purpose of replacing these curse words with the words that you suggest?
Well, it's not really so much replacing the words, it's learning to cope with the situation, because when you get angry and swear, it doesn't really accomplish much. So if you use other words that are...
Well, Jim, a lot of people would disagree with you. I think it accomplishes a lot. It gets a little stress out. Makes you feel a little better inside that you could actually react to the situation.
It does. It's sort of a defensive thing. It's your ego is hurt when someone bumps into you and you don't swear back, but... And I think it adds more stress to the whole environment, because if you're someone else and you hear two people yelling and swearing at each other, it adds to your stress.
Oh.
And if you just deal with it and accept, the guy didn't intend to bump into me. He was just in a hurry, and it just happens. It's chaotic, and then this goes on.
Well, and you've suggested replacement words. The first one for the S word,
yeah,
saying shoot in New York City, that could get you in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good gosh.
I wasn't sure you had a sense of humor. I was a little worried to use that type of, material on you, Mr. O'Connor.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
Okay. It's just a question of two things: civility. We need a little more manners.
Yeah, we do. I think this city, we're very impersonal, and I don't think people really take into consideration other people's feelings. So to hear people cursing like that, I believe I've always thought it rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of these suggestions for replacement words, I think gets the point across. But like you said, civility.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not totally opposed to swearing. I mean, it happens. It's part of our language. It's one way we communicate, but it really doesn't do that much good. You can get by without doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once in a while, someone makes you mad or you get impatient. It just flies out of your mouth. But,
what are some of the replacement words you suggest?
Well, you can use any word you want because most of us have replacement words. You're in a situation where you can't swear; it's just totally unacceptable. So you say shoot, you say darn it, you say nuts. You say whatever it is. But like the F word, everyone always uses the F word, and fudge doesn't work. I admit to that, but it's when everyone's always effing everything up instead of bungling it up or botching it up or messing it up. It's just a crass word that's getting worn out.
Yeah.
What I know you have shoot for the S word, bungled instead of the F word.
Yeah.
Or effed up. It should be bungled.
Well, the whole point is like another one is that's a bunch of balderdash, or that's hogwash, or that's
hogwash. Yeah.
Hogwash nonsense, rubbish.
These are some of the classics.
I want to be very careful how I say this, but is there one for when you call someone a D?
Yeah, you can say jerk. Say you're. One of my favorite words is. I can't think of it right now.
Oh gosh!
It's what's the monster up on the building?
Oh, the
gargoyle.
Yeah, the
gargoyle. Yeah.
It's a funny word. I think gargoyle is a funny word, and it's if you know what an gargoyle is, it is a kind of a creepy looking creature. And, if you call someone a gargoyle, you're less likely to get punched in the face.
So what? Instead of calling them like an A?
Yeah.
Or an a-hole?
Yeah.
So you think a gargoyle's that ugly, I guess, huh?
Well, yeah. And it just, it gets the message across without being too outrageous.
I like using the word clump.
Yeah, clump is a good one.
That's a good one.
Jim, we started talking about this about 15, 20 minutes ago when it was brought to our attention. That's why we had to search you out. The phones are lit, my friend.
Is that right?
Yes, let's say hi to Steve from Yellowstone.
Hello?
Steve.
Hello, is this Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Hi, how are you? I'm really enjoying the discussion.
Good.
I find that there's far too much profanity used in daily life. But I was wondering, like, a lot of my friends will curse because they try to, like, navigate my website, and they can't because it's so poorly done. What do I do if I have
Change your website.
a lot of friends cursing?
They're cursing on how are they cursing on your website?
But no, I mean, like...
Steve, what do you mean? Yeah.
In general, they're cursing, and it's very difficult.
Are they on the phone with you, or are they?
Yes.
Curse words?
Steve, we're
ask my friends not to use that type of language around me because they're going to laugh at me.
Oh, okay.
They're going to laugh at you?
Yeah, or just think I would be disrespectful. I don't know what to do.
Well, just ask them to be a little more polite if they.
Ramone! Hogwash is what Jim does in the tub after he abuses the gargoyle of a fat girl. Ramone! Jim O'Connor's mother started a video called 2 Girls, 1 Cup of Bolshevik. Ramone! The next time he's on the subway, he should be given a lesson by Bernhard Goetz.
Boy, he's a very upset man.
Oh my goodness, sir, Jim. I apologize. A lot of times I get callers like that.
He's a very unhappy person.
Yeah. Well,
for the laughs, of course. He's going for the laughs, but
yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. There was something else I wanted to ask you about this cussing. You got a book or something there, Jim?
Yeah, Cuss Control. It's a complete book on how to curb your cursing.
Okay.
Not how to stop, but how to curb it, how to control it, how to be more civilized. The thing is, when you allow yourself to get upset, you think it feels good.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that much. It's better just to deal with stuff the best you can. You can't do it all the time.
All right, let's take another phone call. We got Paul from Tottsville. Paul.
Hello?
Hi, Paul. You're on with Jim O'Connor.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a teacher. I teach grade school, and it's so difficult to get the kids to talk right. I mean, when you mention that to them, they start to think you're like an old fuddy duddy.
Yeah, well,
it's very difficult to ask them.
I'm sure it is. The kids are growing up in a cursing culture. They're probably even hearing it from their parents.
What do you do to keep them from doing that and to keep them from tattling and things like that?
Well, you say, well, did you...
Ramone! Jim O'Connor is a balder douche! Ramone! I'd like to kick this fruit right in the clump! Jim O'Connor has to be taken to the emergency room to have a trophy removed from his gargoyle!
I can't understand what you're saying.
After a date, Jim O'Connor has a load of shoot on his clutch.
The same joke twice just doesn't work, guys.
Ramone! Jim O'Connor should bungle his mother in the gargoyle.
You know, when you yell like that, he can't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
That's the same joke twice.
I know.
You guys got to be more original.
Same guy. I apologize. Sometimes they get through twice like that through the screener using a different voice.
I think using
Mr. O'Connor.
Yeah, well, I think from the other side of the studio.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Well, it kind of ruined the whole experience.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Whole vibe.
So,
all right.
As long as you guys are having fun, you know. Sometimes swearing is fun. Sometimes it's funny.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, you know, the worst is when you swear at somebody and that's what he's doing. So that's kind of crude, but...
Yeah, that is.
No lips to God's ears.
Wait, he was cursing on you, you think?
It was hard to tell. The sound was very bad, but yes, I have a hunch that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
That would be...
What do you think?
No, because we're not allowed to have curses on the radio. So
I hope he didn't. I didn't hear any. Hope it didn't go through.
You probably don't have very many listeners, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We don't? Yeah.
Well, way to hurt feelings.
Why are you taking it out on us? Because the phone screener didn't know what he was doing.
Somehow I get the feeling it's an in-studio call.
Really?
How's that possible?
Well, you know, I've been on the radio before. I know how it works.
Really?
Yeah, like I say, you got to be original.
Do you cunt?
A good alternative. Okay, I got to get to work. Thanks for calling.
I bet you do.
I hope a man comes and removes your hat.
Hope you get a mouthful of potato flakes at work, you silly goose.
Oh, so long, gargoyle. Him and his stupid replacement words.
And then he's got to say that we don't have listeners.
Right.
Exactly. Really?
Jesus.
Because guys, that's not working. Same joke twice. Trust me, it worked perfectly.
Of course it did.
Perfectly well for the faithful listeners.
Yeah, I thought those were 2 home runs, Jimbo. We have to agree to disagree on that one. Take your euphemisms and hang yourself. Schmuck. A bunch of boulder dash.
Boulder Dash. Shut up.
Idiot.
Bringing his mother into it. Our gargoyle should be.
What was the hogwash? That was brilliant.
Oh, because you said hogwash.
Reread that.
Well, the caller said that hogwash is what Jim does in the tub after he abuses the gargoyle of a fat girl. Inside the tub looks like tomato soup.
Do you think he hung the phone up and just started going off, saying those effing a?
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah.
No, he probably didn't curse.
I'm thinking he was probably cursing.
Those hash browns. Dork.
Amazing.
Very good.
Cuss control.
That was a good call.
Yeah, I like
good interview.
What a great book that's going to be.
Yeah.
180 sheets of toilet paper. What a tool.